Wow. Wow.
Oh. God can hear me better this way. Dear God, we thank you for all the joy and celebration in this room. We thank you for all the gifts that you give us, especially the gift of Sister Gerry and her 50 years of service to you. We thank you for her wonderful family who have nourished her and who continue to nourish her. And we thank you for this Jubilee dinner. And so we say, bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, sister. Before the servers call the tables, I'd like to offer a toast to Gerry's 50 years as a religious nun. We're here today to express our admiration for your work, Gerry. We could not let 50 years go without some acknowledgement of your accomplishments in the celebration of Gerry's 50th anniversary. Thank you. But you will know we all realize it and love you dearly. I would like to give a special thanks to Kim and Dave, and I understand of Fredericks, that put together this wonderful collage here, and the memory book too. I would like to let you know again, what's going to happen here is everyone comes up and writes a little memory on a pad of paper there, and Dave and Kim are going to put together, they're going to give it to her today and then take it home, take it back, and put it together with the pictures that they've taken when you come in. So be sure everyone to go up and fill out the book, the memory book. I'd also like to give thanks for their help, my daughter Jennifer and Danielle, my wife Mary. They put together the invitations, the music, and the planning. Now, Sue was also very active here. Sue doesn't mess around, boy. She goes right to the top. And Sue, go get your present here. Sue's going to make this presentation from the Pope.
We're a golden girl. Every time you look at this, you'll think of us.
Watch over
It
there.
really is from the.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See what the Pope has to say.
Oh, Jenny, stand up and give that.
Camera's going.
Hey, you know who this is? It's Judy Bolt.
Oh.
This is the Pope. Not the one. We have the Pope here with us. Where are you from? Where?
Hillbilly. It's down in the boot hill. I know.
Well, this is technically very captures memory handbook. That's where you were. It's most of his years. Oh, excellent. Sure.
Sue says that the Pope couldn't make it tonight, but he said he was sorry. We have a committee in the shop.
All right, Gerry.
I just want to join with Tim and say thank you. Thank you very much. For all my friends who came from distances around, from my family, who I love, and most importantly, with you. This has been a tremendous celebration, and I just want to continue to say thank you. I don't know what else to say. I'm lost for words right now. It's been great being here. It's an exciting celebration, and thank you again. Let us continue to celebrate.
At this point in time, what I'd like to do is, if everybody would like to come up with some memories that they've had of Gerry through the years. I myself was kind of young when Gerry left, so I don't have a lot of memories when I was a kid. I think she left when I was 3. And she said she's going to give memories. The only thing I do remember is she gave me my first dog. That was a big thing in my life, my first dog. Sue, you remember my first dog? That's the dog that Mom and Sue and I hung. Accidentally.
They cloned it. Terrible.
That's another story.
Share. It's not so much what she was then as what she has become. She's a person that you just can't go where you're going and get there that way. Just this afternoon, we were going in one direction. And the next thing I knew, we were in a whole other direction. That only meant that we were in Toyland and a picnic grounds and a swimming when I thought we were going to be on a real serious trip. But that's all right, because we almost always go to a store to take something back that she bought the last time. Then there was the time when we went to, I think it was Florida, yes. And we came by Georgia, and Gerry had read another book. Now, this other book told all about somebody that was buried in the cemeteries, lots of people. And she says, Hey, just a minute, let's just go take a little trip. And the next thing I knew was all these cemetery markers of the people that she had read about. They were all wrapped up and everything, all wrapped up. When we left there, the next thing we were in Georgia in water. And I don't know when we got to Florida, but I mean, that's Gerry.
Actually, I don't think we need a microphone for this, but, so anyway, I'd ask, stand up, come up with some memories, something. Jim, over there, how about you? You got any memories, Sarah?
I really don't have any.
Well then, like I tell my kids, then make it up.
We'll give you.
Oh, Davey. Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry, oh, no, they got turned.
And a loss for
Fire?
I first met Gerry, I mean, I knew her. She's one of our Adrian Dominican sisters, and I knew her. But I really met her when we worked together down in South Carolina. I had the summer and could give some time down there. And her acceptance of all peoples and making everyone feel important, I'll not forget. From the shelter, they loved her. She made them keep the rules, but they also know she loved them. And it helped me a lot because I had never done work like this before. But she would give me a direction and expect me to do it. And I liked that, not being followed up every step of the way. Now he talks about the work, but I agree with Margaret on weekends. I mean, as hard as we worked Monday through Friday, we had fun Saturday through Sunday, traveling and seeing the sights, laughing and just enjoying it. So I'm very proud to say that she's my friend and a true sister in our congregation.
Dave, you had something to say here?
Well, yeah.
Always does.
Yeah, really.
It's very difficult for me to say anything, actually, most of the time, you know, that I really can't say very much. I just stand up there sort of dumbfounded. But no, I'd like to talk about Sister Madonna Leo. When she had sister, she's going to the convent. So Ann, myself, Sue, and we're sitting around and what are we gonna, what kind of a name we can come up with? So we got, Dad is Leo, William Leo. So we'll pull up William. So we have, and Mom was Frida Amelia Veronica Miller Megel. You know, Mom's name is Frida, you know. So we're trying to name this sister of ours, because it's gonna be fun. We're gonna say, Sister May Lee, we thought. That'd be kind of cool, but no, that's too Chinese. I'm gonna be Sister May Lee. Then Sister William Frida. Boy, that doesn't very good. Mom, I hate it. Frida. So who else we got? Sister Frida May Amelia. Sister Amelia Leo. Oh, that didn't work at all. And we worked a long time, and then Gerry came up with Leo. Right? And she named it. And how did you come with Madonna? She wanted to be Frida Leo. Is that what she wanted? Frida Leo, she wanted to be. So Mother Life today went with the name Madonna. So that turned out to be Sister Madonna Leo. But Gerry always, well, at least initially, taught the grades. And for a little kid to say Sister Madonna Leo wasn't possible. It always became Sister Madonna Leo. So I'd like to present to you Sister Madonna Leo. But the only thing I want to say is this. Dad had a grocery store, so all of you know, right? William Leo Megel had a grocery store. The guys were expected to work there. Jim, he's going to work there, and he learned how to cut meat. She decided, hey, she's going to go down there and learn to cut meat. Joanne didn't come down. No, that was the end of the girls. Mark was the only one. He's not going to go down there and work. I don't know if Sue ever, the boy, Gerry came along. She's going to go down there and work. How long did you work for Dad at this grocery store? All during high school. And then next one to come along was myself, and Gerry taught me how to give out change. Now, do you guys ever get tired when you go into a grocery store and you give them like $1.39 and you wait for the change? She taught me how to take 39 and you take another penny, that's 40, and then a dime is 50. So she taught me that. She taught me how to give change at that grocery store. You probably don't remember that, but that's the way she taught me. But there's one other thing I want to tell you about Gerry. One of the things she could always do is always get people to work for her. Not that she didn't work herself, but she's now down at this home for spouses, and people volunteer all sorts of things. So if you go to visit Gerry, bring a mop, bring a cloth, bring a hammer, bring something, because you're going to be there about 5 minutes and she's got a job for you to do.
The last time you and Dan came down, they tore out a wall. And so.
But he's not telling the truth. You let us be there for 2 days before
That's right.
mentioned. She sneaks.
And I'm Gerry Megel, and the last 20 years of my life have been, if it hadn't been the way it did. I was in Florida, and my job was sort of running out, and I was very down, and called up, and she said, it's from Colombia. There's a priest that we work with, meaning Gerry, that if he doesn't get help, he's going to lose his parish, and he needs help. So I went up for the interview, but it was a terrible experience. The people of the parish told me that if I came, I'd have to run it. There's all this conflict in the parish. I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to this place. So I said to Gerry at the airport, I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not coming to this place. So I went back to Florida, and I was just too depressed and too downhearted to look for other jobs. So I said, oh well, I'll go to Colombia. So I came. Hello.
She would love to see Gerry. She is. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, and I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the whole family for your 50th anniversary. I was thinking the other day, other than breathing, I haven't done anything for 50 years. That's a long time. And would like everybody to sit back now. We have music. We have music. We cleared this off here on the dance floor, and just kind of sit back and enjoy yourself. Thank you very much.
Good job.
He gave me. I should pull him down. I'll save him for my granddaughters. Anyway, when I graduated from high school, you gave me a little doll. I went to Benedictine High School. And do you remember that? You decorated this little, it was a doll, and you decorated it with a cap and gown, just like a Benedictine graduate. Yeah. And when I was even younger, and I still have this. This is the coolest thing. And my daughter, she likes it. She wants it. But I'm. But anyway, sister Gerry, she gave me this. You're all going to be jealous. This infant of pride. Real clothes for every season, and it's got the little crown. In fact, it has 2 crowns. Maybe that was supposed to be a secret. Sorry, but anyway, it had a velvet, purple robes, and it had, so every season, the seasons of the church. Not the seasons of, the year. Liturgical season, yeah. So anyway, I would just change my little, infant of pride,
Years old. It's a little. It's about Jesus. First communion. Who's telling us? And he got upset because I got that. Yeah. It always reminds me of me and Gerry. I look at this book, and No, brother, he's reminding me of it again. You'll never let me forget it. But here, I'll let you have him tell it. Anyhow, he wouldn't let me hear it because he was 7 and I was 4. And I didn't want to get it ruined. So he wasn't let his 4-year-old. So I got mad and I had my mom or older sister help me write a letter to Aunt Gerry because I wanted a book. And I was jealous, and I still got that book. It's the Velveteen Rabbit. Was the book. I still got it, and he wrote something in it. I just remember it. Thank you.
Just got actually 2 little things I want to say. One, I remember the day I found out Aunt Gerry had hair and legs. The time I was little, she always had to have it. One day she came over to the house, she had hair and she had legs. And she picked me up and swung me around, and that I will never forget. I was amazed you had hair and legs. No, I thought you were bald. Sorry. The other thing you talk about how Gerry gives out stuff. She had given my daughter Kendall, who was 3 and a half, this little bunny. And this bunny is so worn. I mean, I've had to sew its arms back on and its tail and all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to ask my mother to please try and repair it even more. Kendall will not let go of that. And to me, it just represents the amount of love that Aunt Gerry has had for everybody. Who my daughter and I show her pictures all the time, and she knows who you are, and she does say, Aunt Gerry gave me this. I said, you're right. But I did remember though, I just mainly the hair and the legs. Oh, and the name Aunt Gerry was much better than the Sister Madonna Leo stuff, because you're right. That one came out.
Hi, I'm Craig. For those of you who are family members and those of you who are and can't keep everyone straight, I'm a nephew. Really? For those of you who do, then good to see you again. When I was a little kid, Uncle Dave was living up at the seminary of St. Basil's, and we used to spend a lot of time up there. One memory that I have, and Gerry, I don't know if you remember or not, but I think I was probably 5 or 6 years old. And most of you kids know we used to kind of run crazy all through there, and then we would go home and sleep. We stayed over, and then Sunday morning we did the Mass and everything, and I was in the chapel with Aunt Gerry when she was kind of putting some stuff away, and we went to put the Eucharist back, and there was, like half one left over. And Aunt Gerry gave it to me and that I could have it, but I was only 6 and I hadn't had communion yet, and so I thought it was. I remember telling my sisters, and we were also sure, oh no, a nun would never do that, so horrible. She couldn't have given you that, you're not old enough. But, so that was just one little fun memory that I had of being able to sit around Aunt Gerry.
I just want to mention my mom. She really got excited when Aunt Gerry would come over to the house. And I just want to thank Aunt Gerry because I know the topic of conversation with my mom and Aunt Gerry was that David got in trouble constantly. And that he was definitely going to prison. So I just want to thank Aunt Gerry for saying all those prayers. And I know I had a connection up there somewhere. Thank you.
You were all coming in, you admired these Gerry and these wonderful popular black outfits. Well, I have a part in that story. Gerry and I went to grade school together, and I entered in June of 48, and Gerry entered in February of 49. So the day before I was getting the habit in December.
There when they were in that, up on the canal, when they were up there in Partridge Street, and the 3 of them were in this one little bed, and then he said, come on in and join us. But I had some good times with them. I also spent many Christmases. I remember Christmas morning and everybody opening their presents, and everybody be so crowded, and there'd be presents all over the place. And we had some very good times together, and I had some very good memories. I remember coming in on the plane late at night, and you used to always take the early bird flight because it was cheaper. And Joanne would come and pick me up, and she'd say, would you mind going shopping? So we would go shopping at midnight. We'd always go shopping at midnight, and sure enough, we'd have to stop at the pharmacy and pick up Sharon, and she'd get off of work a couple of times. I can remember that. I always slept in Nancy's bed. And we had a good time there. I had some great memories about Frederickson. And I also remember one Christmas when Mom and I went to Tim and Mary Ann's house and stayed overnight. And John shared his bedroom with me. I can remember him coming in and telling me all about his little gerbils, or what he calls those little things, gerbils. And especially, I just remember lots of good things. So it's been great. I spend most of my time now with Margaret and Jim at their house because they have room.
He's in Germany.
And they have been tremendous. And Ann and Dave have been tremendous. They came and helped at the shelter recently, but many times when I'd go to meetings in Washington, I had to stay at their house, and one time I even walked in the wrong house. Some of the a catechist from Greensboro with me to Washington for a religious ed conference. And we drove up after they got off of work, and we got there about 11 o'clock at night, and Dave and Ann said, well, we'll stay up and we'll wait for you. So we'll leave the front door open, we'll be there, so just come right in. So we drove up, we got there about 11:30 maybe at night. We drove up to this house, and we took all our luggages out, myself and 3 other catechists that were with me, dragged all of our furniture into the house. And all of a sudden I looked down, I saw a dog, and I thought, they don't have a dog. What do they got? Just a dog. And this strange man came out and he said, can I help you? I looked at him and I said, oh. I thought this was my brother's house, and he said, no. And I said, well, you know Dave Megel? He said, they live a block down. And we took everything back into the house, back into the car again. I never lived that down. I think everybody in the parish there ribbed me about walking into the wrong house. But there are some good memories, and I have some great family, and I just really appreciate all that you have done. I remember when even before I entered, I babysat for Bill, who's over there, and Linda, and for Margie. I thought I was really great when I would be able to babysit for them. So that was great. So just a lot of memories. I just can't remember them all right now. But this book here is tremendous that you've done. And this book is just tremendous. I really appreciate the book and all of the things that you've done and are going to do for the book. I really appreciate Pat and Judy driving all the way up from Kentucky. It's a long way. And for Mary Louise and Mary Singer and those that came from Adrian and came from distances. Took a lot. And from Susie, who came all the way from Myrtle Beach to be here. We had a good time together. She came a long way. I also want to thank Chuck for bringing his date tonight. It's good to have you here, Kay.
Which way did he want?
Yeah, we spent many Christmases when we were young at your mom and dad's house. Christmas night. Her brother would play the piano and we'd sit around singing, and I remember Dad brought us Tom and Jerry's. When nobody watched, we'd go in the kitchen and throw them down the sink because I couldn't take them that time. But thank you very much. I'm glad that all of you were here, all my brothers and sisters and their wives and husbands and all of my nieces and nephews. Thank you very much. One other person that's here that I grew up with that lived down the street from me is Mary Ann Cults. She and I went to school together from first grade all the way up to high school. And so I'm glad that she was here. She brought me a lot of good memories. When Mary and I went to high school together, and we used to spend a lot of time, she, myself, and one other woman, Dorothy Daniels, who lived down our street. Yeah, Dorothy Daniels. Pardon? Yeah. And we used to go together a lot. We used to have a lot of fun together. And then Tim came along. He was the last of all of the children. And I was a senior high school at the time, and it was just great having a little baby in our family, you know, so I did a lot of taking care of him at the time because most of the other brothers and sisters are off doing other things. And we used to go down to Marion's house all the time, and her dad was a policeman, and he used to say, "Here comes the caboose." He did talk about Tim. He was the caboose of the family. And since then, we've had many other cabooses. And family has grown, 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 and I just really appreciate that. So thank you very much.
We better start eating dessert now.